This is about purpose and clarity. Let love be what it is, a journey into love without shame and permission to feel again. Let me tell you something I learned the hard way, something I fought for years before I finally understood. And when it finally hit, it changed everything, and not in a gentle, quiet way. It hit like a damn truth I couldn't run from anymore. Because for a long time I didn't realize how much I'd shut myself down. Not because I wanted to be cold or distant, not because I didn't care, not because I didn't crave connection. I shut myself down because somewhere along the line I absorbed this whole set of beliefs about love being good or bad, right or wrong, and feelings needing a permission slip. I carried shame that wasn't mine to carry. I inherited walls that weren't mine to build. And I lived inside them because when you've survived trauma, chaos, and heartbreak, you cling to anything that feels like control. But here's the thing, what looks like control can also be a cage. And that cage, it almost convinced me that loving was dangerous. It almost convinced me that feeling was shameful. It almost convinced me to stop listening to my own damn heart. Almost. The years I numbed myself. Let me tell you about the years I numbed myself because those years didn't go quietly. I numbed hard with alcohol, with drugs, with anything that shut up the noise long enough for me to get through another day. But here's the wild part. Even in the numbing, and when I was checked out, fogged out, and barely present, love still had a way of slipping in through the cracks. A friend who suddenly meant more than friendship. Someone whose presence made my chest tighten in a way I wasn't ready for. Moments where two hurting people accidentally found each other in the middle of the night and said the truth without saying a word. And yes, I judge myself for all of it. I felt guilty. I felt wrong. I pulled old beliefs out like a rule book and used them to beat myself up. But looking back now with a sober, healed, and an awakened mind, I can see what I couldn't see then. Every moment of connection was trying to remind me I was still alive. Every spark was trying to cut through the numbness. Every time my heart reacted, even when I didn't want it to, it was saying, I'm still here. I'm still beating. Don't bury me. Love isn't the enemy. Let me be clear because this matters. And I'm going to say it again. Love isn't the enemy. This isn't about throwing caution out the window. It's not about being careless. I've worked in healthcare over 29 years and I've seen the cost of truly dangerous choices. What I'm talking about is the emotional truth we bury under guilt. You're allowed to love. You're allowed to feel. You're allowed to want connection, tenderness, desire, closeness, even if your past told you it was shameful. Love comes in so many damn forms: friendship, affection, chemistry, a quiet understanding, that pulse in your chest when someone walks in the room. You don't have to name it, you don't have to justify it, and you sure as hell don't have to feel guilty for it. Let love be what it is. Let it breathe. Let it exist without dragging it through the mud of judgment. Something is shifting. And lately, I don't know if you feel it too, but something is shifting. Something in the air is softer. People who've been numb for years are starting to feel again, and they don't know what to do with it. I felt it in myself strongly. This overflowing warmth in my chest, this almost too much feeling that shows up out of nowhere. Sometimes my heart beats so loud and so hard, I swear I can hear it in my ears and feel it in my fingertips. And the tears that show up, they're not grief heavy ones. They're the I'm waking up again tears. They're the I didn't lose my ability to love tears. They're the holy shit, I'm still alive tears. And nothing is more human than that. What if nothing is wrong with you? Let me ask you this because it's the question that changed everything for me. What if nothing, what if none of your feelings are wrong? What if your emotions aren't betraying you but guiding you? What if your heart isn't confused but it's waking up? We spend so much time fighting ourselves. We label our own reactions as sin, shame, guilt, and weakness. We police our hearts because someone once told us love needed regulating. But what if you never needed to fight it? What if you were never too much? What if your heart is simply doing what hearts do when they finally get a little safety? They feel. Life is too damn short to suffocate the parts of you that survived hell just to feel again. Too short to keep apologizing for wanting connection. Too short to pretend you don't feel what you feel. Let your heart breathe again. So here's my invitation. Not a command, not a rule, not a 5 steps to healing kind of thing. Just an honest, open-handed invitation to let your heart breathe again. Let love be what it is without labeling it, without caging it, without apologizing for it. If it's a friendship, let it be that. If it's affection, let it be that. If it's a spark you don't understand yet, let it be a spark. And if it's love, real, deep, soul level love, please don't suffocate it because someone else wrote a rule book that was never meant for you. You're allowed to feel. You're allowed to love. You're allowed to be human in the most tender, messy, beautiful way. Let love be what it is, and let yourself be what you are, alive, open, and free.